spine. Sitting in whatever is a good seated position for you, so either cross-legged on your knees or in the pose of the sages, as I am currently in. If this is good for you, whichever position you're in, make sure that you're maintaining the lumbar curve, so not slumping through the lower back, but just tilting the pelvis forward ever so slightly, drawing the belly in, lifting the chest, rising up through the crown of the head, taking up your full height, and then just resting the hands gently on the thighs, and close your eyes. Take a moment to arrive in your body, arrive on your mat. We can do a quick body scan here, so just bringing your awareness down into the soles of your feet, into your toes, into the tops of the feet and the ankles. Bringing your awareness into your lower legs, your knees and thighs. And as we're scanning the body, just noticing any areas of tension where you might be holding, noticing any areas of pain, and perhaps even noticing where things feel good and easy. So bringing your awareness into your pelvis, and then up through the torso, the lower back, middle back and upper back, the abdomen, navel and chest. And bringing your awareness into your shoulders, down through the arms, into the hands, feeling the sensations between your hands and your legs. And then bringing your awareness up into your neck and head, relaxing all the muscles of your face. And then we'll take 3 deep, intentional breaths. As you inhale, rising up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, dropping the shoulders down and back. Inhale, breathing wide into the sides and the back of the rib cage, really using your full lungs. And as you exhale, allowing the weight of the sitting bones to drop a little more deeply into the floor or cushion. And inhale, breathing right down deep into the diaphragm, really using your full lungs capacity. And exhale, just let it go. And then allow your breath to return to a normal level, in and out through the nose. And notice how you feel. Notice whatever you are bringing with you into the practice today. An emotion or mood. Not to judge it or criticize it, but just to be here with what is. Okay, and then open your eyes if you have them closed. Interlace your fingers in front of you, take a breath in, drawing the belly towards the spine, and as you exhale, push the palms away, tips of the thumbs are touching, little fingers are crossed. Take another breath in and breathing out, move the arms in the shoulder sockets. So really keeping the belly drawing in as you move slowly and mindfully to your full range of motion. Resisting the urge to go into a back bend, so that's where those abdominal muscles come in to keep the torso stable. And then once you've found your fullest extension, which might be a little bit more forward for you, if you've got very tight shoulders, don't go into a back bend. And then really lift wherever you are, lengthening the sides of the body from hips to armpits to wrists. And then you can squeeze your upper arms in a little bit, resisting away with the wrists of the hands. Keeping that belly drawing in towards the spine, keep the chest lifted. See how much length you can find in the torso. And then slowly Release the arms. If you're in a cross-legged position, release your legs. If you're kneeling, you can stay where you are. And then cross your legs the other way, so bringing the other shin or foot in front. Again, find that slight forward tilt of the pelvis to maintain the lumbar curve. Draw the belly in and up, chest lifted. Press your hands briefly on your legs. And then interlace your hands the other way. So whichever way you habitually do it, switch the grip. Take a breath in, draw the belly towards the spine. And as you breathe out, push the palms away. Tips of the thumbs are touching, little fingers crossed. Belly in and up. Take another inhale, and again on the exhale, moving slowly, mindfully, keeping the belly drawing towards the spine, finding the movement, isolating the movement in the shoulder sockets. And then lengthening up to the ceiling, using your arms to stretch, elongate the torso, feeling the stretch down the sides of the body. Keep that belly drawing in. Don't be tempted to go into a back bend. And squeezing the upper arms towards each other, resisting away with the wrists. Perhaps with this second time of bringing the arms up, you can bring the arms a little bit further back. But not at the expense of the stability of the torso. So make sure you're being really honest with keeping that belly drawing in towards your spine. Lift up one more time. And then slowly, mindfully release the hands and release the legs. Come up to a standing position. And we'll begin with some standing postures to get the blood flowing and strengthen the legs. So starting with mountain pose as ever, bring your mind down into your feet, feel the sensations between the soles of your feet and your mat. And ground down through one heel, lift the ball of the foot up, spread the toes nice and wide, really finding the biggest surface area that your foot can take up. On the other side, ground down through the heel, stretch the ball of the foot forward and spread the toes. And then bring your body weight back so that your hips are stacked over your heels. Engage the quadriceps, lifting the kneecaps, lift the front of the pelvis, draw the belly in and up, lift the chest, roll the shoulders down and back and extend through to the fingertips, rising up through the crown of the head. And then from here, take the arms out to the side, turn them in the shoulder sockets, again, stabilize through the torso before lifting up overhead and lengthening towards the ceiling. So really find as much length here as you can. Imagine you are hanging from the ceiling. How long would you be? Keep the breath flowing. You can notice how when you stretch your arms up in this way, there's a slight restriction actually on the lungs, but still keep the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Body weight back still over the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly in and up, stretching up through the fingertips. And then keeping that lift in the spine, just allow the arms to come out to the side, turn in the shoulder sockets, and release the arms down. I just need to turn my heater off because it is getting way too toasty in here. I turn it on so that it's like warm for yoga, and then I forgot to turn it off and turn into a tomato during the class. Anyway, bring your hands to your hips, bend your knees, and step or hop your feet to a wide stride. Start with two heels in one line and the outside edges of the feet parallel. Body weight back over the heels, kneecaps lifted, belly in and up, hands on hips, draw the elbows back to open across the chest. Turn the left foot in slightly and the right foot out 90 degrees. Make sure that your inside edge of the foot is parallel with the long edge of the mat. Hips still facing forward. Inhale the arms out to the side, mind in the back foot, push that heel down, engage this quadricep, and then sit down towards the right. keeping the torso directly above your hips for warrior 2. So if, like me, your knee is going ever so slightly over your ankle, you can step your foot out a little bit more to keep that shin parallel and allow yourself to sit down a little bit more. Draw the belly in and up, keep the chest lifted, and turn your head to look along your right arm with a long neck. Take the mind to the back foot. Push that heel down even more. Lift the inner arch of the foot up. Lift the kneecap. And stay really strong, resisting back with that back leg. Draw your belly in and up. Lift the chest. Extend through to your fingers. And with the front leg, the right leg, push the knee towards the little toe side of the foot. Drop your shoulders down away from your ears and extend through to the fingertips of both arms. Maybe have a little look at your back arm and check that it hasn't drooped down behind you. Whatever we're not looking at likes to slack off a little bit. We have to keep the mind there. See if you can sit down a little bit more. And then bring your gaze to the front, straighten your right leg, turn the right foot round and relax your arms a moment. Second side, turn the right foot in a little bit and the left foot out all the way. Inside edge of the foot parallel with the mat, torso still facing the front. Inhale the arms out to the side, mind to the back foot, push that heel down, engage the quadricep. Keep the mind there as you sit down, resisting back with this back leg. So we're not going all the way over to here, we're transferring all the weight, trying to keep the weight in the center by being really, really active with both the back leg and the back arm. Have a look down at your left knee, check it's not falling in, push it back over to the little toe side of the foot, and then turn your head to look along your left arm. Again, take your mind to your back leg, push the heel down, lift the inner arch of the foot, keep the kneecap lifted, draw the belly in and up, chest lifted, and extend through to the fingertips. Keep the breath flowing in and out through the nose. Dropping your shoulders down away from your ears, relaxing your face. And see if you can sit down a little bit more, keeping the back leg active. So notice how whenever you kind of move more in one direction, you want to, the back leg kind of wants to relax and give up. So really keep it strong throughout. And then bring your gaze to the front, straighten your front leg, bring the feet back and step or hop to mountain pose. Spread your toes, body weight back, lift your chest, roll the shoulders down and extend through to the fingertips. And breathe. Okay, extended side angle pose, same legs, so go nice and wide so you can bend all the way down into it. Start with 2 heels in one line, turn the left foot in and the right foot out, torso still facing the front, hands on hips, elbows back. Inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, bend down towards the right. Place your right elbow on your right knee, left hand on left hip, and use that top arm to open your torso. So this hip is coming back, this shoulder is coming back, you're turning your whole torso up towards the ceiling. You can use this elbow on the knee to push the knee back towards the little toe side of the foot, and you guessed it, keep the back leg working. So push that heel down and keep this quadricep engaged. Now you can either keep your elbow resting here on the knee, or you can bring the fingertips to touch ever so lightly on the floor behind your foot. Then take your top arm up and over, palm facing down, extend, stretching the whole side of the body, and finally bring your gaze to look past your armpit up towards the ceiling. Keep the breath flowing, keep the belly drawing in, turn the tummy, turn the chest up, opening the torso and extending through the fingertips. So feeling that stretch all down the side of your body from heel to hip to fingertips. See if you can bend your right knee a little more, pushing the knee back into the arm, and keep the breath flowing. Bring your gaze to the front. Keep the knee bent as you come up with the arms through warrior two, and then the leg. Relax your arms, hands on hips. Check you've still got two heels in one line. Second side, turn your right foot in and your left foot out all the way. Make sure you've fully rotated that leg. Torso still facing the front. See as well, check your hips haven't kind of gone like this, which is what can happen. See if you can keep them roughly horizontal. Draw the elbows back. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sit down, finding that 90-degree angle. Mind in the back leg. We've gone to sleep already. Push the heel down, engage this quadricep. Bring your elbow onto your knee, push the knee back using the elbow, and you can either keep it here or bring it down gently to touch the floor. Draw the belly in, open, and rotate the torso towards the ceiling. Take the top arm up and over, extend, and finally bring your gaze up as well if you wish. Keep the breath flowing. Really drawing that belly in, turning the whole torso up towards the ceiling. Push your knee into your arm, towards the little toe side of the foot, and really active with the back leg, the right leg. So pushing that heel down, quadricep lifted, and breathe. Really stretching the whole side of the body. See if you can feel that stretch all the way from heel to armpit to fingertips, and then bring the gaze to the front. Come up with control with the arms and then the leg. Turn your feet to the front, hands on hips, and step or hop your feet back to mountain pose. Spread your toes, body weight back, chest lifted, shoulders down and back. And breathe. Okay, triangle pose. Bend your knees and step or hop to, it can be a bit of a less wide stride for this one, seeing as we're keeping both legs straight, but feel free to go wide if that's what you fancy. Okay, turn the left foot in and the right foot out all the way. Struggling with my sides today, can you tell? Hips still facing the front. Inhale, outstretch the arms, draw the belly in, both legs really straight this time, so engage the quadriceps and lengthen the torso out to the right. Only come down so far as you can, keeping this top shoulder up and back, and see if you can lengthen this underside of the body. So rather than kind of collapsing and making this side really short, you're trying to keep both sides of the torso equally long and open. And then draw your shoulders down away from your ears, extend your top arm up, and bring your gaze up towards the ceiling if you wish, or keep it forwards if that feels better on your neck. Both legs are really active here, drawing the belly towards the spine again, turning the torso up. See if you can lengthen that underside of the torso a little bit more, keeping the breath flowing. Drawing the belly in towards the spine. And then if you want to challenge yourself a little more, you can bring your arms up either side of your head, using your core to support the weight of the torso. Keep the breath flowing. And then come back to center. Turn your feet around, relax your arms a moment, and we go to the other side. So right foot in, left foot out. Check you've fully rotated that leg by turning the foot out all the way, inside edge of the foot parallel. Draw the belly in, inhale, outstretch the arms, and lengthen now out to the left. So you see how this arm really leads in order to keep the length of this underside of the torso. And bringing the arm down, shoulders down away from your ears, and gazing up towards the ceiling. Belly to spine, keep the chest lifted, Opening across the chest with the arms, not much weight on this hand, if you can, and keep the breath flowing, opening that top shoulder up and back, both legs really strong and active, engaging those quadriceps. And then if you wish to bring your arms up either side of your head, using those core muscles, keep the breath flowing. And then come up to center, turn your feet around, and step or hop your feet together. Okay, and breathe, let the posture go. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, extending the fingers down towards the floor. Okay, chair pose. Step your feet to hip distance, toes in, heels out, so the outside edges of the feet are parallel. Inhale the arms up above your head, extend towards the ceiling, draw the belly in, and then sit down, making sure that your knees are staying directly above your ankles, so they're not going out or in, but staying, you can just have a look down and check that they're staying directly above the ankles. Draw the belly towards the spine, body weight goes down through the heels, and chest lifts. So see if you can sit down a little bit more, keeping the belly in, and then lift the chest a little bit more, drawing the arms back. Keep the breath flowing. Sit down one more time. And then come up, bring the arms down, step the feet together, and breathe. Lift the chest, shoulders down, body weight back over the heels. Okay, again, this time with the feet together. Take the arms up overhead, or you can leave them on the hips if you prefer. Draw the belly in, reach up, lift the chest, and sit down as far as you can. This time with the knees together, belly drawing strongly towards the spine, tailbone going down towards the floor, chest lifted, so we're in a bit of a back bend here. And keep breathing. Sit down a little bit more. And then standing up, bring the arms down, let the posture go, extending through to the fingertips. And breathe. Okay, hands on hips, step or hop to a reasonable stride for warrior one. This time, as most of you know by now, we turn all the way to the side. So we're going to turn the left foot in a lot, turn the toes in, turn the heel out, and then turn the right foot out all the way. If the balance is hard for you, you can walk the feet out a little bit wider, so you've got a bit more of a distance between your 2 feet. And this time the hips are going all the way to the side, so squeeze your inner thighs together. Imagine you're trying to grip something between your inner thighs. Really active through this left glute, squeezing the tailbone down towards the floor. Draw the belly in. Inhale, take the arms up overhead, extend, and then mind in the back leg. Push that heel down, push that thigh back. Keep it really, really active as you bend your front knee. Belly in, chest lifted, and you can bring the gaze up towards the ceiling if you wish with a long neck. Really extend through the fingertips, keeping the breath flowing. Push that heel back, push the back heel back, push the quad back, keeping it active. And then if you wish, we can go into a little bit of a back bend here. So lifting up first, reach for the ceiling one more time before you draw the upper body back. Gazing at a single point on the ceiling, opening the whole front of the torso. Okay, bring your torso back to neutral and we're going into warrior three. So we're going to extend the body forwards over the front leg. Draw the belly towards the spine, gaze at a single point, lift the back leg up and straighten the front leg, bringing the body down. You can turn your toes, towards the floor to try and find that inward rotation of the back leg. Drawing the belly towards the spine and trying to bring your left hip down towards the ground. Extending away with the fingertips. And then bending your front knee. Slowly, gracefully, bring the back leg back down to the floor. Find warrior one. Straighten your front knee. Bring your feet to the front. And relax your arms. Reset your feet if you need to. Check you've still got two heels on one line. And we'll go to the other side. So now right foot turns in a lot. Toe in, heel out. Left foot turns out all the way. Squeeze your inner thighs together, bringing your back hip forwards. Imagine you're gripping something between your inner thighs. Draw your belly in, really squeezing the glutes, pushing the tailbone down. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Lengthen the whole torso. And keeping the back leg really active, bend now your front knee. Keep the breath flowing. Belly to spine, chest lifted, extending through to the fingertips. See if you can still squeeze your inner thighs together here. So obviously they're not touching, but still that action of drawing the inner thighs together to bring the back hip round. And really, really active in that back leg, pushing the heel down, kneecap lifted throughout the posture. You want to take it into a back bend, lift up before you go back, so lengthening the whole torso, and then drawing the arms back just a little bit to open the front of the body even more. And then bring your torso to neutral. Start to lean your torso forwards over the front leg, gaze at a single point. Lift the back leg and come to your warrior three. If you've got something nearby that you can hold on to and you want to work on alignment over balance, feel free to do so. Either way, gazing at a single point, trying to turn the right toes down towards the floor, bring the right hip a little closer to the floor, belly to spine, extending through to the fingertips. Lift the back leg up, bring the torso down, and then slowly bringing that back leg down. Find warrior one, squeeze your inner thighs together, straighten your front leg, turn your feet around, and bring your arms down, step or hop your feet back to mountain pose. Spread your toes, body weight back, lift your chest, roll the shoulders down and breathe. Let it go. As you inhale, rising up through the crown of the head, and exhale, relaxing the shoulders. And breathing. Okay, I'm going to turn to the side. You can still carry on facing the front. Step your feet to a hip distance for our forward bend. Engage the quadriceps, spread your toes, all the stuff we always do. Body weight back over your heel, draw the belly in. Hands on hips. Inhale, lengthen the front of the body. And exhale, come down just to a half forward bend so that you can maintain that neutral spine position. We're just going to hold it here for a few breaths. If you want to, you can rest your hands on your thighs to help you support it a little bit. You can keep your hands on your hips, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can bring your arms up in line with your ears. Whichever position you're in, focus on keeping the quadriceps working, so the legs are locked straight. The belly is drawing up towards the spine. Tailbone is turning up towards the ceiling. We're lengthening the front of the body. So imagine someone's drawing the sternum forwards. Shoulders are away from your ears and the breath is flowing, gaze is forwards. With each exhale, see if you can come down perhaps a millimetre more, but maintaining that neutral spine position. So finding the movement in the hips rather than rounding the spine. See if you can lengthen forward even more. Imagine you're trying to get your lowest rib a little bit further forward on your mat. And then belly to spine, inhale, coming up with control. Step your feet together. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, shoulders down and back. Okay, let's come to the front edge of our mat. Again, step the feet to a hip distance, unless you've got really long hamstrings and you find it very comfortable to forward bend with your feet together, but for most of us, it's not. So again, and also if you've got very tight hamstrings, be generous, go wider than hip distance. Okay, so this time we're gonna come all the way down, hands on hips or up above your head as you prefer. Either way, lengthen the front of the body, keep the front of the body as long as possible, or as long as possible, and then coming down, bending your knees as much as you need to get contact between the stomach and the thighs and the chest and the knees. Relax the head completely, allow the crown of the head to draw down towards the floor. And if you're bending your knees, sorry for my cracky ankles, if you're bending your knees a lot here, that's absolutely fine. Just prioritize getting that contact between the stomach and the thighs. And breathing here, just a very active in those standing postures. So allowing this half inversion to calm the nervous system a little bit. And then perhaps just seeing if you can, without losing the contact between your stomach and thighs, see if you can lift your hips up just an inch or so, taking that stretch into the belly of the hamstring. Okay, bring the gaze forward, bend the knees a lot, and step or hop back to a plank position. Draw the belly in, really push the floor away so shoulders are protracted. Legs are really active, pushing the heels away, engaging the quadriceps, turning the tailbone down towards the floor, so not this, but this. Spreading the fingers nice and wide, shoulders working down away from your ears, and keeping the breath flowing. And then we're going to come down to chaturanga. Drop your knees if you need to. Either way, body in one line, elbows in tight. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, and then come forwards to your up dog. Hips on the floor if you need to. Shoulders away from your ears, either way, long neck. And again, really squeezing the glutes to protect the lower back. Couple of breaths here. And then roll over the toes and push back to your downward dog. Bend your knees, keep the heels up off the floor, and see if with your knees really bent, you can turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling, and then perhaps straighten the legs a little bit more. Prioritizing the alignment of your spine over straight legs. Relax your head completely, so just allow the weight of the head to come down towards the floor, and use your hands to push the body weight back towards your heels. Keep the breath flowing. If you want to walk the legs out a little bit here, if that feels good, feel free to do so. And then bring your knees to the floor, knees wide, toes together, and the forehead down. Stack your hands if you need to. Bring the floor up to your forehead and breathe into the sides and the back of the rib cage. Really deep breaths here. And if you want to make this a bit active, you can creep the fingers forward, lengthening the side of the torso, resisting back with the hips. Okay, and then draw the belly in and come up to a kneeling position. Okay, so you guys probably know what's coming. We're going to do that a little bit quicker with our breath. I just wanted to go through each of the positions with you. So as ever, going through with the rhythm of your breath, you may not be going at the same time as me, but really focus on getting each of the positions precise. So thinking about the things I just talked about, keeping the elbows in tight in chaturanga, shoulders away from your ears in your up dog, spine in a neutral position in your down dog. Okay, so let's come to a all fours position and we'll go into down dog from here. So take this opportunity to really set everything up. So your hands should be directly underneath your shoulders. The wrists should be horizontal on your mat, you know what I mean. Spread your fingers nice and wide so that the middle finger is pointing exactly forward, and really push down through the base of the first finger knuckle and make sure that's not coming up when we go into down dog. Tuck your toes, drop your hips back all the way to the heels, relax the head completely, take a breath in, and then without letting the upper body come forward at all, push up into down dog. So really maintaining that position of the upper body, relax the head, and then in your own time, going through those movements with your breath. So coming forwards to plank, drawing the belly in, down to chaturanga, dropping your knees if you need to, inhaling to up dog, shoulders away from the ears, exhaling back to down dog, turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling. Inhaling through plank, exhaling down through chaturanga, inhaling to up dog, and exhaling to down dog. And just keep that going, drawing the elbows in towards the body, shoulders away from the ears. And one more wherever you are. And coming to rest in your downward dog. And then drop your knees and come to an all fours position. So in this position, I just want to take a minute to explore the internal rotation of the leg that we are looking for in Warrior 3 that can be hard to find. So in this position, just bring your knees together so your knees and feet are touching. Keep the rest of the body strong, so still pushing the floor away, shoulders protracted, head in line with the spine, shoulders away from your ears, belly in, and spine in a neutral position, so not going into a back bend, not rounding. And then we're going to really focus on keeping everything where it is, so really stable through the torso. Lift your right leg up in line with your hips. So kind of the tendency is to do this, or to open that hip up, but try and keep it in line as much as possible. And then in this position, see if you can find an internal rotation of the leg. So I'm exaggerating here, but if I kind of allow my foot to turn out like this, that's external rotation. If I draw the toes down and the heels up, I find an internal rotation. And we can do that same thing that we do in Warrior 1, squeezing the inner thighs together, and then you'll feel how that brings the pelvis in line. So this is reasonably challenging even in an all fours position. It's obviously even more challenging when we're in Warrior 3, but this is the feeling that you're going for when we are doing that movement. Okay, bring the leg down, and then we'll do the other side. So again, really making sure that we're stabilizing everything before we go in, belly to spine, shoulders protracted, and then without moving anything else, just lift that leg up in line with the hips, and then see if you can find that action of squeezing the inner thighs together, turning the toes down towards the floor, finding the internal rotation of the leg, keeping the breath flowing. Keep the belly really drawing in and extending away with the back foot. So you can imagine someone's drawing that heel and toe away from you, lengthening the torso, and then bring the leg back down and rest for a moment in child's pose. So knees together this time, hips to heels, head on the floor or on your hands, whichever feels good for you. You can bring the arms back if that feels good, and breathe into the belly. Okay, and then draw the belly in towards the spine and very slowly start to restack lower back, middle back, upper back, neck and head. Good. Okay, come forward one more time into plank. Good. So spreading fingers, glutes active, and then rock the body weight forward, drop the knees if you need to, and lower yourself as slowly as possible, all the way down to the mat. Again, in these back bends, we're going to be trying to find that internal rotation of the legs, so pushing the tops of the feet evenly into the floor. And what this does in a back bend is just spreads this area on the sacrum. So you can see if I kind of externally rotate my legs, that's going to kind of squish this area, whereas finding that internal rotation makes a little bit more space and makes it a bit more comfortable for the lower back. Push the tops of the feet into the floor, engage the quadriceps so your kneecaps pop up, squeeze the glutes, sending the tailbone down again, trying to make a bit more space in this area, drawing the belly in towards the spine. You're going to interlace the hands behind the hips, take a breath in and lift the upper body up away from the floor. Legs stay really active, pushing the tops of the feet down, don't let them come off of the floor, keep the quadriceps engaged, glutes engaged, and then drawing the arms back. Keep the breath flowing. See if you can lift your arms away from your hips a little bit. And then slowly relax down. Turn your head to the right, relax your arms, relax your legs, toes together, heels apart, and breathe into your lower back. Really using the breath to massage those muscles on the back of the torso. Okay, bring your chin forward, go again. Set up with the feet first, push the tops of the feet down, engage the quadriceps, and this time interlace with the other thumb on top, so less dominant grip. Squeeze the glutes, belly to spine, inhale, and again lifting up, using the arms and the back muscles to lift the weight of the torso. Are your legs still working? Push the tops of the feet down, keep those glutes engaged, squeezing down through the glutes, and then lifting up from there, keeping the breath flowing. And lift up one more time, and then slowly with control, coming down, turn your head to the left, release your hands, release your legs, toes together, heels apart, breathing into the back. Okay, bring your chin forward, hands either side of your chest, elbows in tight to the body like Grasshopper legs, again, squeeze the feet down towards the floor, engage the kneecaps, squeeze the glutes, belly in, and then as if you're rolling a ball away with your chin, very slowly curling the spine up, using the strength of your back rather than your hands, keeping the elbows in really tight to the body, shoulders down away from the ears, face relaxed, forehead relaxed, glutes active, legs active. Can you engage your quadriceps anymore? Keeping the breath flowing. Lift up one more time. And then slowly roll down. Turn your head to the right. Release your hands, release your legs, and breathe. Breathing into those back muscles. And then bring your chin to the front. And this time bring your hands a little bit more forward, so either side of your head. Same thing with the legs, squeeze everything really hard. And then this time we're going to come up and using the fingertips, imagine you're trying to draw your chest forward, so gripping on the floor, shoulders away from the ears, and just using the traction of your hands to lengthen the torso forwards. Opening the front of the body and your back bend, gaze is forward, legs are really active, squeezing the glutes down. Come up a little bit more. And then slowly release. Turn your head to the left, release your hands, release your legs, and breathe. Okay, bring your chin forward, bring your hands either side of your chest. Tuck your toes, or if you need to go on your knees, then don't tuck your toes, but we're gonna come up through chaturanga into plank, so either keeping the knees down or the toes tucked. If your toes are tucked, active through the legs, squeeze the glutes, elbows in tight to the body, draw the belly in, keep the whole torso stable, and push up through chaturanga. Got a little bit ahead of myself there. And then all the way up to plank. Drop your knees and come back. We're going to move over onto our backs. Okay, so we're going to do a quick little bit of core work here. So the dish, I don't really know whether that's actually a yoga pose, but I don't know, I've definitely done it in yoga classes, so it doesn't matter. So options here, we're going to start with the lowest option and then progress through the variations. You need to keep your lower back down on the floor throughout and the belly drawing in. The moment that you feel kind of pelvis starting to tilt and there being space at the lower back, you need to regress to the previous option. Okay, so starting with the feet flat on the floor and find that imprint of the lower back on the floor. So turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling, drawing the belly in towards the spine. From here, we're going to lift the head and shoulders up off the floor, extending the fingers down towards the feet. Keep the belly really drawing in and the lower back down. And don't crunch the neck in too much, so gazing somewhere above your knees, extending through to the fingertips. From here, keep that belly in as we lift up your feet to a tabletop position. So thighs are horizontal. No, they're not. Thighs are vertical. The legs are horizontal. Keep the belly in. Keep smiling. Okay, from here, keeping the belly down and the back down, we're going to extend the legs to a 45-degree angle. Be honest with yourself. If that core is giving up, then regress to here. Keep breathing. From here, are your shoulders still up off the floor? Mine sort of wanting to go down. We take the arms up above the head. Keep the breath flowing. And then finally, you can start to bring the legs down only so far as you can, keeping that core engaged. So that's about it for me. Some of you might be able to get your legs further down. Keep the breath flowing. For another 5, 3, and bring it in. Relax your head, squeeze the knees in towards the chest, and roll from side to side here, if you wish. Okay, and then bring your feet flat on the floor, also your floor, for bridge pose. So feet are hip distance. Again, starting the movement, drawing in from the belly, hands flat on the floor, palms facing down, belly to spine, start to turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling and roll up through the spine, finding your bridge pose. And then very slowly rolling down, bringing the tailbone down last of all. We're just going to keep going in and out of that movement. Moving with your breath and seeing if you can really articulate through the spine as you come up and down. So as you come down, you really need to squeeze your abdominals to keep your tailbone up off the floor until the last moment. See if you can really find that individual articulation of each vertebra. Okay, and then rest with your hips on the floor for a moment. In fact, bring the feet together and allow the knees to come wide. Just relaxing those inner groins, spreading the lower abdominals. And breathing into the belly. Okay, and then bring your feet again flat on the floor. If you want to intensify this as a back bend, you can bring your feet a little bit closer to your hips. Or likewise, if it was feeling too much on your back, you can bring your feet a little bit further away. We're going to go in and hold it a little bit more this time. So again, well, first of all, let's just lift the chest and draw the shoulder blades down underneath, lengthening the back of the head away, and then very slowly turning the tailbone up towards the ceiling, lifting the hips, and coming up into your bridge. Really squeeze the glutes and turn the tailbone up towards the ceiling, so we're keeping a little bit of length here in the lower back. And when you're at the top of your movement, if you want to intensify it any more, take it more into a back bend, push your shins back towards your face, and that's going to lift you up even more into that position. Keep the breath flowing, really squeeze the glutes. Can you squeeze your glutes any more, really lifting the pelvis up? And then very slowly bringing the pelvis down, hug your knees into your chest. And then bring the feet flat on the floor. We're going to go again, and this time do alternate leg raises. So again, reposition your feet if you need to, bring them closer or further away as you see fit. If that was enough for you and you don't want to do the leg raises, keep your feet at hip distance apart. If you're going to do the leg raises, bring this time your feet together so your toes are touching. Same thing, belly to spine, turn the tailbone up and lift up into your bridge pose. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly, And then keeping the pelvis really stable, bring the right leg up towards the ceiling. Straighten the leg, extend through the toes. Keep the breath flowing here. Bring the leg down, extending the toes away from you, knees together. Still keep that right hip up and in line, and then bend the leg down, bring the foot down. Push up a little bit more into your bridge. If you've lost it, stabilize, draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and take now the left leg up towards the ceiling. Straighten the leg if you can. Keep the breath flowing. Keep those hips in line. Really working through that right leg now. And then bring the leg down long, knees together, foot reaching away. And then slowly bring the leg down. And bring your hips down towards the floor. Hug your knees into your chest, and you can roll gently from side to side across the lower back. And breathe. Feet down. Soles of the feet together, knees wide. Come into your supine Konasana. You can bring your feet further away from your hips if this is intense for you, or draw them in a little bit closer. Find a position that feels relaxing. Bring your hands to your lower belly now, and just breathe into your hands. Okay, and bring the feet flat on the floor. We're going to go into Shavasana. If you need to put on any socks or jumpers, or need to do any final stretches, feel free to do so. Otherwise, come to this position with the feet flat on the floor. Push the elbows into the mat, lift the chest and draw the shoulder blades down underneath your heart. Lift your head and just lengthen the back of your neck away from your torso. Lift your hips and lengthen the lower back. And then finally allow the legs to come long and allow the feet to fall out to the side, palms facing up towards the ceiling, hands a little bit away from your body, and make any final adjustments so that you can be comfortable and still for the next few minutes. If you need to put a cushion or something underneath your knees, that can make the back more comfortable for some people. And then when you've found your position, just relax, let go. Take a couple of deep, intentional breaths. With the exhale, really allowing the weight of the body to release into the floor. Bring your awareness into your toes, into the soles of the feet. Bring your awareness into the tops of the feet and the ankles, and into the calves and the shins. Bring your awareness into your knees and into the thighs, and then into the pelvis, feeling the weight of the pelvis sink down into the floor. And then bring your awareness into your lower back, your middle back and upper back, and into the abdomen, allowing those abdominal muscles to completely relax and release. Belly wide and soft. Bringing the awareness then into the rib cage and the chest, allowing the chest to broaden, soften as your shoulders relax down into the floor. And then bringing your awareness down through the arms, the upper arms, elbows, the forearms, the wrists. Bringing the awareness into the back of the hands, the palms of the hands, the thumbs, and each of the fingers. And then bringing your awareness up into your neck and head, relaxing all the muscles of the face, jaw, tongue, lower lip, upper lip, nose and cheeks, eyes, eyelids, eyebrows and forehead. Whole body releasing, letting go, breath softening. Inhale, belly rises. Exhale, belly falls. And as the body relaxes and becomes still, see if you can notice the tiniest movements, feeling of the air moving past the nostrils, the way you can feel the movement of the breath, even in the joints of the shoulders and the hips. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, then I invite you to do so. But otherwise, starting to bring the breath back to its normal level and invite some movement into the toes and the fingers. Notice what it feels like to move them after being still just for a few minutes. And then when you're ready to move, draw your legs up and roll over onto one side. Take a couple of breaths here. And when you're ready, make your way to a seated position. Sit yourself up on a block or a cushion if you have one. And sit up straight one last time. Resting the hands on the thighs, close your eyes. Inhaling, rising up through the crown of the head. And exhale, shoulders down and back. If you want to bring your hands to a prayer position, resting the thumbs on the sternum, you can do so. Bow your chin towards your chest and notice how you feel. And then raise the head and open the eyes. Namaste. Thank you very much.